The year was 1932, and the RMS Orpheus set sail from Southampton, a majestic liner destined for New York. Its gleaming decks and grand ballrooms promised luxury and adventure, yet beneath its polished veneer lay a sinister secret. On the third night, as the ship cut through the Atlantic, a dense fog enveloped it. Enjoying a masquerade ball, passengers were oblivious to the eerie quiet that had fallen outside. The ship's captain, a stern man named Captain Hargrove, felt an inexplicable dread as he gazed into the thick mist. Down in the lower decks, the crew whispered of ghostly apparitions seen in the fog, of sailors long dead who had sailed these waters. That night, a chilling scream echoed through the grand corridors. Guests, masked and adorned in their finest, froze in terror. Captain Hargrove, followed by his officers, rushed to the source, a young woman, pale and trembling, pointing towards the ballroom's large window. Someone is out there," she stammered. Hargrove peered into the fog, and for a moment his blood ran cold. There, barely visible through the swirling mist, was the shadowy figure of a man, eyes glowing a spectral white, standing on the water as if on solid ground. The captain ordered the shutters drawn, and the passengers escorted to their cabins, his stern exterior masking the fear gnawing at his soul. By dawn, a member of the crew was found dead, his face twisted in a grotesque mask of horror. The ship's doctor could find no cause, but the crew knew the ghostly sailor had claimed his first victim. Panic spread. Captain Hargrove tried to maintain order, but the sightings continued. The ghostly figure was seen again and again, each time closer to the ship, each time more real. The Orpheus, a vessel of joy and luxury, had become a floating coffin. One night, as the fog turned impenetrable, Captain Hargrove himself vanished. The ship drifted aimlessly, her crew too terrified to steer, her passengers huddled in their cabins, awaiting a dawn that seemed it might never come. On the final night, a storm hit. The Orpheus, unmoored and unhelmed, was tossed like a toy upon the waves. Lightning flashed, illuminating the deck where the ghostly sailor now stood, clear as day, his expression one of sorrow and rage. As the ship began to break apart, the ghost raised an accusing hand, pointing towards the depths of the ocean. In the ship's final moments, those who survived swore they heard the voices of the drowned, calling out for justice, for vengeance against some long-forgotten wrong. When the rescue ships arrived, they found nothing but debris and lifeboats filled with the few survivors, their eyes hollow and haunted. The Orpheus was gone, swallowed by the sea and the fog, leaving behind only whispered legends of the cursed voyage. To this day, sailors crossing that stretch of the Atlantic speak in hushed tones of the Orpheus and her ghostly passenger, forever lost in the mist, seeking retribution against those who dare to forget the past. However, in a shocking twist, as the last lifeboat was being pulled aboard the rescue ship, something peculiar. Among the survivors was a man dressed in the tattered remains of a captain's uniform. His face was pale, and his eyes glowed with a spectral white light. Before "I am Captain Hargrove. The Orpheus is not the first, and it will not be the last." With that, he vanished into the fog, leaving behind a chilling realization. The Orpheus had been a vessel of retribution, captained by the very ghost it feared, forever cursed to haunt the seas and claim the souls of the living.